Hello everybody, welcome to Final Assembly as we reach the end of the term in the academic year. It's been quite a long haul to get here, but we did, well done. It's been really wonderful seeing members of the upper sixth back in school this week, and I'm really delighted that after a great deal of persistence we were able to get permission for that from the Department for Education. First independent school in the country to do so I'm told. My main end of term messages, as always, are in my commem speech, which is going to be released tomorrow on Friday. But today we have a number of other achievements to report on and celebrate, starting with Miss Mounter's final report from the Isolation Olympics. So here we go. As ever, the disclaimer, these are the words of Miss Mounter put into my mouth to read. She says, last week you were set 3 challenges: the haiku, the book cover recreation, and the themed house photo. We'll begin with the poetry, and Miss Mounter has actually written in the form of a haiku the specifics of the challenge. A haiku is just a short, well-structured poem on anything you... And now to the results. The winners were Junior, Flora McDonald Wilson, Senior, Phoebe Frank. And now to the book cover recreations. Special mention goes to Tudor Maud, who's often to be found skulking about in the library and who it turns out makes a very convincing Hamlet. For the juniors, Violet Moody literally had a light bulb moment with the John Green inspired cover. What earned her first place? And for the seniors, Lottie McKelvey treated us to one of the great literary classics. No, not the Aeneid, but Enid Blyton. And her famous 5 depiction was adventurous to say the least, with the added bonus of Timmy the dog being played by the family rabbit. Very good to see her bucking the trend when it comes to casting. Same can be said of Ms Pearson, who put her dog in place of the cat in the hat for her book cover. Sometimes it's useful to have pets at home. And Mr Whitehouse, who recreated the iconic cover to Teenager, deserves a special mention. I'm delighted that he's been evolved with almost every challenge this term. Puns aside for a moment, we turn to the house photos. Each house was asked to create a themed message that reflected house spirit in lockdown. Special thanks must go to the housemasters and housemistresses for collating and creating some wonderful images. Choosing the rainbow as a symbol of optimism, Schoolhouse is awarded 3rd place. Queens created a montage in purple which included positive statements from the pupils and gets 2nd place. And with its message of international union, tolerance and diversity, 1st place goes to Dronfield. Well, this term we've seen everything, from birds on toothbrushes, rainbow cakes, faux holiday snaps, St Peter's biscuits, come dine with me, and even loo roll keepy uppy. Thank you for all your initiative, positivity and good humour, Miss Mounter writes, in what has been in more ways than one, a punishing term. She says she'll miss her email box filling up on a Sunday night. And then she says, there, I think I've spun this out long enough. Now to the overall winners of this term's Isolation Olympics. In 3rd place, Schoolhouse. Temple taking 2nd place, and for wholeheartedly undertaking every challenge, 1st place goes to Dronfield. So very well done, Dron. And finally for me, thank you, Miss Mounter, for devising the Isolation Olympics, your fantastic creativity in setting the challenges, collating the results, and your amazing pun-filled reports. They've livened up my week. This, along with your weekly pastoral newsletter, which you've done with the pupils and expertly put together by my PA, Miss Frank, will be among the standout memories of how we responded to the challenges of lockdown and isolation. Thank you and well done. Music from Mr Miles Kingston and Cabaret 2020. It was a very different cabaret this year, produced entirely from home. The evening belonged to the upper sixth, who gave us some fabulous solo moments, supported by members of the swing band at times. The girls and boys barbershop groups each contributed 2 items with some brilliant characterful singing on display. There were original band arrangements created especially for the evening by pupils, and also students involved in the editing of some of the tracks. It was a huge project, but testament to the dedication of our upper sixth leavers and the staff who've been supporting them. And if you missed the show, it is still available on the YouTube channel. The Ian Hunter Prize for Music is awarded to the musician who's shown the most progress over the academic year. And this year it's awarded to Annabelle Stanford. And Annabelle's achieved an ARSM diploma on the flute with distinction, and also her grade 8 singing also with distinction this year. She's been making a tremendous and outstanding contribution to our choirs and orchestras. Annabelle, congratulations and thank you. In physics, our lower 6th and 4th form have been having stunning success in the British Physics Olympiad competitions that took place during or shortly before lockdown. In particular, we had quite a few gold awards, which represents a performance in the top 6% of the country at lower 6th level and in the top 13% in the country at 4th form level. is an outstanding achievement given the quality of the entrants who are selected to take part in the competition in the first place. And in the lower sixth, the following pupils achieved those goals. That's Tommy Hudson, Kevin Zhu and Zhang Zhang. And in the fourth form competition, gold awards were achieved by Martha Dunsmore, Charlie Hughes, Henry Jameson, Kyunghae Yang, Thomas Johnson, Ocean Papadopoulos and Lara Webster. Very well done to those pupils and indeed to everybody who took part. And debating. So this year the Debating Society has enjoyed a plethora of interesting and exciting events which included external competitions in public speaking, the Oxford Schools competition and the ESU Mace. This competition was our most successful, with Ethan McKinney, Wilk Peacock and Paddy Rennick reaching the finals of the Northern Rounds. And the weekly society debates have always been very entertaining. Can't wait for them to continue next year. Congratulations to Phoebe Frank also, who will become captain of debating for 20 to 21 with Harry Shee as vice captain. And colours are awarded to Harry Shee and Phoebe Frank, re-awarded to AJ Coates, Piyush Kurapati and James Connolly, with caps being awarded to Ethan McKinney, Will Peacock and Paddy Rennick. Very well done to you all. And turning now to sport and sports colours, caps and awards. We'll of course never know what the outcomes for the summer season for our sports programme would have been, but what we can be confident in is that they would have been full of the same energy, determination and enjoyment which have characterised the seasons before. Given the current situation, we felt it appropriate that the upper sixth who've missed out on their final term of school sport should still be awarded their colours in recognition of their commitment and performance in their time at St Peter's. We'll obviously have to arrange to get the colours book signed at the next available opportunity, but we will do so. And my thanks to everybody who appears on these lists, but also everybody who's taken part in school sport. One of the things that I'm so proud of, not just in sport, but across the school, is the breadth of participation and the depth. So well done to everybody who's been involved. So, the Girls Sport Awards go to the Hannah Smith Rackets Award for Excellence is awarded to our tennis captain, Sofia Alexandrova, for her outstanding contribution to tennis during her time at St Peter's. The Joe Sargent Shield for All-Round Excellence is awarded to Maddie Wiley and Amelia Blackburn for their contribution at first team level in hockey, netball and rounders throughout their time at St Peter's. The Shuttleworth Cup for all-round consistent effort and commitment throughout their time at their sporting life at school is awarded to Charlotte Calvert for her determination, motivation and valuable contribution to netball, hockey and rounders. And the Cambridge Cup is awarded to the house with the most accumulated points for the girls' inter-house competitions, and this year the winning house is Dronfield. Well done to everybody involved. So, colours and caps. Tennis half colours go to Molly Smith, B Barker, Lilia Williams, Georgia Chamberlain and Jess Davis, with a re-award of colours to Katie Bonner and Polly Brown. And caps go to Sophia Alexandrova, Sophia Callahan, Stella King and Leah Grace Gath. Very well done. In rounders, there's the award of colours, and they go to Amelia Blackburn, Charlotte Calvert, Amelia Gray, India Harrison, Maddie Wiley, Inoni Headley, Flora MacDonald-Wilson, Rachel Paget, Hebe Turville, Lily Conroy, Amanda Paul and Eddie Miles Kingston. In squash, the boys team were undefeated in all fixtures against local schools again this year, with the highlight being a complete whitewash against Ampleforth, winning all 10 matches without dropping a single game. At the area finals, the team performed exceptionally well and were only one match from qualifying for the national last 8. The girls team have thrived too, and we look forward to next season with confidence and more experience on court. Full colours go to Will Middleton, Josh Wood and Isaac Kennedy. And in swimming, full colours go to Ben Hobbs, George Russell, Sophie Aidley and Lydia Gill. And in water polo, full colours go to Ben Hobbs, George Russell, Harry Jones, Max Allard, Matthew Shawcross and Ben Skelton. Turning to rowing, well, sadly this year the boat club's racing season ended before it began. Months and months of hard work through the winter on water and on land were starting to pay off. The third form rowers in particular showed remarkable resilience in the face of a river that simply would not cooperate with them. And having lost nearly 65% of their water time, they are to be commended for their perseverance and positive attitude. Fourth form rowers also had to cope with some disruption to their waterwork, but some solid land sessions resulted in greater consistency through the winter heads and hopefully would give them success later in the season. The fifth and senior rowers had already tasted success in the head season and were looking to progress even further as the year went by. And it's highly likely that given the work ethic of a talented group, more success would surely have followed. So while it's disappointing that we couldn't race fully this year, the boat club is now looking forward to returning next year under the guidance of the new captains Hannah Gowland, Tom Jakes and Rupert Walker. So boat club colours. Half colours to Guy Jenkins and a re-award of colours to Adam Dalton, Joe Johnson and AJ Coates, with colours going to Claudia Freeman. And a cap for his dedication and commitment to the boat club, which began at St Ollie's Wednesday night club through to him being a regular choice for the first boat and being boys captain. A cap is awarded to Joe Johnson. Well, Joe, very well done and thank you for all you've contributed. Boys tennis, with enormous thanks to Mr Shred for 35 years of running boys tennis, and a reminder that in his honour the Alcuin Cup has been renamed the Alcuin Shred Cup. And full colours are awarded to James Hanson, Tom Harpin and Charlie Blackburn. Turning now to cricket. Half colours go to Will Middleton, Nick Gill and Tim Burgess, with full colours going to Chris Wood, Matty Roberts, Matty Lodge, Isaac Giannini and James Bramley. Caps being awarded to Chris Wood, Matty Roberts and Matty Lodge. And normally, of course, we'd be presenting trophies to those who've excelled in the cricket season, which is of course not possible, but I'm really pleased to announce a new school cricket award in memory of old Peterite Tim Wood. This is called the Tim Wood ICE Award, where ICE stands for Integrity, Character, Endeavour, and will be awarded along with the other school cricket cups given out at final assembly. But unlike those cups, it won't be awarded for physical or skilled achievements on the field, but rather for the characteristics for which it stands. And this year, it's absolutely fitting that the first recipient should be Christopher Wood. Chris, many congratulations and thank you for all that you have done and contributed to school cricket. And finally, the Shuttleworth Trophy for significant contribution to school sport goes to a pupil who's played first 11 cricket since the 4th form, first 11 hockey since the 5th form, and first 15 rugby and sevens for the last 2 years. He's always given his best both in training and when representing the school, and so that trophy this year goes to Matthew Lodge. Matthew, well done, that's really fantastic, and thank you so much for all you have done too. So, the Merit Cup. Well, this is an interesting one. The results have literally just come in, and I'm going to do from 5th place upwards. And in 5th place, with an average, oh, by the way, of course, just a reminder that the way the scores are worked out, we take the number of merits achieved by the entire house, divided by the number of people in the house, and that's the only fairest way, but also makes it into a complete team effort. So, in 5th place, Schoolhouse, and their average was 4.394. In 4th place was Temple House with 4.467. 3rd place went to Queen's, who had 4.507, and in the top 2. So something of a bit of a drum roll here. It's absolutely impossible to separate out these two houses, and with an average of 5.0, I'm delighted to announce that the joint winners of the Merit Cup this year are Hope and The Rise. Massive congratulations to both houses. Huge team effort. Very, very well done indeed. Now for some farewell to staff. Well, obviously the Peterite magazine will contain more detailed accounts of their contributions to the life of our school, and as Common Room we had a really enjoyable and sort of quite bananas in some way, but it was just brilliant. Gathering on video conferencing, which should have taken place on the music school lawn, saying farewell and hearing anecdotes of their time at school. But I do just want to record by name those who are leaving us as colleagues at the end of this term. And that's our graduate sports assistants, Jack Collister, Alexandra Rose, Ewan Dingwall and Luke Mathers. To Liz Pywell, who's been obviously teacher of English here this year and has contributed a great deal outside of the department as well. Saskia Schmidt, who has been an assistant in the German department. Henry Marr, who's been with us in history since 2017, and Sarah Tucker in classics and also since 2017. Paul Cooper leaves us having been our head of DT and also contingent commander of the CCF to go off to a school in Hong Kong, and it's a great opportunity to say again thank you to Paul and all his colleagues for that wonderful initiative of creating visors which went to local GPs, care homes and the hospital. That was just a wonderful initiative. Farewell to Lissy Matz, History of Art and our very social Common Room Social Secretary, and she's been with us since 2014 and she now moves on down to London. Angela Tooby-Smith started at St Peter's in 1996, and after 24 years she leaves us having been our Head of Geography. And Bob Shred, already mentioned in this assembly, but has been with us since 1985, an astonishing 35 years at St Peter's, chemistry, boys tennis and so much more. But of course, Bob, we know you'll stay in touch. I hope indeed all of our leaving colleagues will stay in touch. Bob, I'm sure, will, and obviously remains at the school in a generational manner. Thank you to all of them for their contribution at St Peter's. We wish you all the very best for the future. And finally, the last and finally from me for the year. The start of term feels like such a long time ago. It also seems to have gone by so quickly. Now I look back and we're in the final couple of days of the academic year. It's been extraordinary in every sense, and I've tried to capture something of that as well as reflecting on the year as a whole in my speech for Commem. And we put together a number of videos to try and capture as much as we can of the components of the day, and you'll be sent a link so you can access that at 11 o'clock on Friday morning. At the time of writing, received just earlier on today, we're looking at the government guidelines for the reopening of schools in September, the latest in what seems to have been a long stream of projects since lockdown began. We'll obviously make plans based on what's available now, while anticipating that there may well be changes, and we probably won't be in a position to know in concrete terms what we're going to be doing until the latter stages of the summer holiday. However, while there will no doubt be complexities, it is very good to be able to anticipate the school returning, all school returning here in September, and how wonderful that will be. So well done on everything you've achieved this term. All of you pupils and all of you, my colleagues, have just been absolutely incredible. I couldn't be more grateful or more proud of you all. So here's to a great break over the summer, hopefully some more sunshine. And for the last time this term, from me to all of you, stay safe, go well, and crack on. My very best wishes to you and to your families.